Marshfield paid tribute to its veterans with a parade and ceremony on Veterans Day. State Representative Patrick Kearney, a Navy veteran, says that the sacrifices of veterans must be remembered.
Well, today is also Veterans Day and not Memorial Day. Let us especially remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice and those who returned home carrying invisible wounds. Honoring veterans means supporting them and their families through health care, through mental health services, employment, and a community like Marshfield that respects their service and sacrifice. Here in our district, I see veterans continuing to serve every day as leaders, as volunteers, as mentors, friends, and neighbors. Their commitment reminds us that service doesn't end when the uniform comes off. It transforms into community, into family, and small acts of everyday service. Today, let us pledge to remember, to honor, and to act, to support our veterans, to learn from their example, and to ensure that their sacrifices are never forgotten.
Marshfield Assistant Veteran Services Director Lisa Potts talks about how her life has been shaped by her family, who served in the military.
Like most of us, my own family's story helps me appreciate their commitment. My father landed in Normandy during World War II, and the values of compassion and patriotism he taught us still guide my life. As a mom of 2 service members, I feel pride and comfort knowing that my sons are dedicated to something greater than themselves, learning lifelong lessons firsthand in leadership and integrity. So today, as we thank all of our veterans and the families who support them, let's make a promise together. Let's listen to our veterans, let's learn from them, and do our best to follow their example, because their service just isn't in the past. It continues right here at home as they help build a better future for everyone in Marshfield.
The Huey Group's 50th anniversary Vietnam War float featuring a Huey helicopter was a highlight of the parade. A member of the Huey Group, Army Lieutenant Colonel Norman Haste, tells his harrowing story about how he tried to rescue soldiers trapped on a Vietnam mountain called Marianne.
We had no chance of success, but somehow the good Lord said to me, have the artillery guys fire rounds into the clouds so that we could fly between the cloud layers into the mountains, no instruments, and let's see if we can help these guys on Marianne. We couldn't get the artillery shut off, so we had to fly in between incoming artillery rounds with our hearts in our mouth to try to get to these soldiers. In the meantime, we were taking all kinds of crew-served and small arms fire, and when we broke out of the clouds at 700 feet, we were in tear gas. And we could hardly see, and when we got to the top of that mountaintop, the entire mountaintop was in flames and explosions of armament that was on the mountain. And the soldiers of the Americal Division, these guys were on the ground, and they fought a tremendous battle, but 39 of these soldiers were lost, and it was my job to try to get them out. And we did everything we could, but we lost all the 19 guys we pulled out. And it was the most devastating, emotional event of my life to date. And every once in a while, I'll go back in time and just have to go off to by myself to recollect.
Haste says that later in his military career, he was able to turn around that mission's failure.
Because of that mission, I became the commander of the Combined Armed Services School out of Boston, and I trained 23 majors, captains, and lieutenants over 13 months to get ready to go to Iraq. And the only reason that I was there was because I was physically fit and probably stupid. But no other officers of my pay grade and my age could actually train these troops, and so the greatest accomplishment of my military career was training 23 officers to go to Iraq, and folks, every one of them came home. Thank you.
The Marshfield Parade featured Grand Marshal Army veteran Bruce Scout, first responders, veterans, and the Marshfield High School Marching Band. Reporting from Marshfield, Tom Gorman, WATD News. ATD